We got another person working on this Lanthos. And then we have another artist that I'm really excited about as well. He's working on the corporation. So hopefully during this campaign, we'll be releasing all sorts of updates for this concept art. But I have to be careful that anything I release is good, because I don't want people to look at it and be like, oh, that's not that good, I'm not going to contribute. So I can't hold back here. I realize that the key to success is actually not the game, it's the miniatures. People say it's the rules that matter, but come on. When you walk into a store for the first time and you look at 40K, you don't read the rules. If you did, you wouldn't play the game, because the rules are horrible. It's true, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's so much ambiguity in them, and there's so many rules debates over 40K. Fantasy's not quite as bad, but it's still bad too. They don't try to write a solidly balanced rule system. War Machine does a much better job at it, and even theirs has flaws. And you don't get drawn into War Machine because of the rules. You get drawn in because they have awesome-looking steam-powered warjacks. That's why you get drawn in. And yeah, that's really what it comes down to. You come in because of the look. Maybe the fluff attracts you as well. I think that's a big part of it. I know Lord of the Rings. I got into Lord of the Rings because I just love Lord of the Rings, not because I like the Lord of the Rings miniatures. So the idea of being able to play Lord of the Rings on the tabletop was that's what sold me. That's what got me into wargaming. Nothing to do with the game itself, because I had no idea how to play the game. In fact, I actually don't really like the game. I think it's too slow and it's too tedious. But I love the miniatures and I love Lord of the Rings. So the most important part of this development is going to be the miniatures, which means it's the one part that I don't want to cut corners on. And I want to make sure that they're the best looking miniatures that we can produce. They will not be the best looking miniatures in the world, I can tell you that. I don't have the experience for that. Companies like Games Workshop and Privateer Press, they've been doing this for a lot longer than I have, but I am really going to try hard to make the sculpts and everything really good. So that's where we're at. So hopefully that excites you a little bit. I'm actually thinking about doing this fundraiser starting next week rather than 2 weeks, because I've been getting so much feedback that I don't want to wait 2 weeks, because I'm impatient like that. And like, why wait 2 weeks when you can do it in a week? And it's a 45-day campaign. There's been some people who emailed me and said, it's good that you're doing it 2 weeks because my paycheck is right before that. And I understand that maybe a couple people won't be able to do day one contributions if I start it sooner, because they were planning on it being later. And I never actually gave a date. I said in my video, I said probably about 2 weeks. And so 1 week is about 2 weeks, isn't it?
Just about.
Yeah. When you really look at it. I've been working, I've got the campaign almost finished in Indiegogo. I've been working a lot on it, getting all the descriptions and all the perks in there. Still need some ideas for the perks, and I've still been reading comments, but I have changed it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give away my favorite perk. Yeah.
The one you told me about?
Yeah. Do you think I should tell them? Or should I
pretty
save
cool.
it? Should I save it? I don't know. Well, if people are watching, you know what? A lot of people won't have made it this far, so not a lot of people will find out. Yeah, okay, I'll say it. Okay, so the different perks, like I said, like the $5 one is just basically an acknowledgement on our website and some cool desktop background from this one environmental artist. Because it's like 1080p, like we're talking big art, so it'll actually almost be, it's good enough for a poster. It's so awesome. And then the $25 level is your basic level of, you get to choose one of the miniatures. Once they're done, you don't get to choose right away because you don't even know which ones they're going to be. And then you get it shipped anywhere in the world for free. We'll even include some Mike and Ikes. And then we'll go up to like a $50 level where you'll actually get all 5 of them at the $50 level. So you go twice as much and you get all 5. And the reason for that is because the shipping cost doesn't really increase for us when you add in 4 more miniatures. So it's just the cost of the miniatures that goes up. Whereas the shipping cost is a big chunk of it for the first one. So it's probably what it's going to be. I might have to make it a little higher than 50, maybe 60 to make it make sense. And then at the $100 level, you get all 5, but you get it in limited edition packaging. Mm-hmm. They're going to make packaging just for this Indiegogo campaign. And we'll even sign it and everything and number it. It's just the packaging that's limited. It's not the miniatures, because obviously that would require me to make 5 more miniatures, which obviously won't happen unless we get even more. And then you get up to the $250 and $350 level, and that's where you get the $100 level thing. They pre-order limited edition packaging, but you also get a lifetime vault membership. And I think the $250 will get you the silver vault membership, and $350 will get you the gold. That's more expensive than it costs to buy a lifetime vault membership when we actually do them. But that's, like I said, it's not the point. It's a perk for the contribution. So think of it that way. And at the $500 level, we have only 2 of these available. And that's because Worthy Painting is going to be, the guy from Worthy Painting, Nick, he's awesome. He's doing stuff for us, and we're working back and forth and we're actually getting miniatures painted from their studio as well. But he wants to he wants to be like the official painter for Dark Potential. I told him he can't be the official painter because, we got to keep it open. But he wants to paint the first set of miniatures. And I said, you know what, that's awesome because we need it for our product packaging. Because we need really good looking miniatures for the product packaging, and they're awesome painters. So he's going to paint up 3 sets of these 5, because he's got 3 Golden Demon level painters, pretty much, and he's going to have each of them painted up a set to their style.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And so we're going to give 2 of these away, but there's only 2 available. So there's 2 $500 levels available. And then at the $750 level, and this is all still up in the air, so this could change, so I'm not, some of this stuff could change. We're probably going to add more too. $750 level, you get everything from the $350 level. You mean to get your lifetime gold membership plus the pre-order of 5 limited edition packaging things. Don't get them painted by Worthy Painting, but that's okay. And then I will make a personal video for you, thanking you. And I will take a pie plate to the face, a cream pie. Just like Dave doesn't ever do in his own battle reports because he never loses. But he has his pie plate challenge. I'll take one of those to the face for each person who does the $750 one. So if there's 5 people that do it, I'll make 5 individual videos just for you and do that. But the best one is at the $1,000 level. Actually, no, the best one is the $1,500 level, but we'll get there. And I realize that this is kind of outrageous. Like, you're probably thinking, holy crap, I'm not going to donate $1,000 just to see you get a pie plate to the face. And I understand that. There's supposed to be fun perks for those people who would donate that anyway. When you get to that level, that's your crazy fanatics. And the people who, and on top of that, and I realize that not all crazy fanatics have $750 to throw around. So I'm not saying if you don't do it, you're not a crazy fanatic. But you get to that level, it's the crazy fanatics with money who usually do that. So they're not necessarily looking for an awesome perk. They're looking for something fun and personal. The $1,000 level, you get everything from before. So your lifetime membership, your pre-order, the miniatures. You get me making a personal video with a pie plate to the face. And in that same video, Dave has agreed to take off his shirt and take a paintball straight to his bare chest, or is it bare back? One or the other.
Oh.
Yeah, for each person who donates $1,000. So, we'll be lucky if we get 1 at that level, but, if we can get like 5 or 6, we'll make 5 or 6 separate videos. And we'll even, he even said what we'll do is we'll take like a magic marker, or maybe it was your idea or somebody else's idea, but I can't remember. And we'll circle the welt that is made and put the person's name on it. So that once we've done all of them, then show us back with all the contributors. So we got to have at least one person do the $1,000 level. Come on, you want to do it. But like I said, when you get to those levels, those are the people who are donating because they have the money, first off, and they're just completely sold on the project. And they're not doing it for any monetary gain. And those are the people that, that's why we do something crazy like that. And then the $1,500 level gets everything at the $1,000 level. So they get the paintball and the cream pie to my face and lifetime membership and the pre-order of the miniatures. Plus, they get, and there's only, I think only going to make 5 of these available or 10 of these available, one or the other. They get a character in the game named after them. Whether it's a miniature, like there'll be a special character that's a miniature and that you'll have your name after, or whether it's just a character in a story, I don't know. It just depends on how many miniatures we get created, and we'll talk about it. Obviously, if you're going to donate $1,500, we'll talk about it by email and by phone, because we're not going to have 100 people doing that, so I can take the extra time. But you'll have your name or your username, whatever you prefer, or some variant on your name, if that's what you want. We'll come up with something that'll fit into the game, because it is humans, right? So any name really that any human has today could be in the game. And if your name is really crazy, then maybe we'll find some Xlanthos translation for it and make it a Xlanthos villain. Whatever. That's the $1,500 level. So there, you found out before everybody else. If you're watching these developers' diaries and you actually get this far into it, then I put you at one of the higher tiers of our followers for Dark Potential, because, come on, you don't see tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of views on these videos. You see thousands. So obviously it's a small percentage. One person actually asked a question. In my video, the Dark Potential Needs Your Help video, I said we've got hundreds of thousands of people coming to Mini Wargaming. And somebody says, do you really have that many? And the answer is actually yes. Now, you don't get 100,000 views on each video because each person is doing different things. They're watching different videos. Not everybody watches every video. A lot of people post on the forums, or you might have people just coming and watching videos and leaving, or people coming and buying from our store and leaving. But we actually have a lot of people on our site. But it still is a small percentage who are like those crazy fanatics. And so, but hopefully with that small percentage, we can still raise a lot of money for this. So that's looking good. I like that. You're putting a wash over the whole thing. Yeah, it's way better than that bright gold it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Devlin Mud, instant talent.
Too bad they're getting rid of it.
Really?
Yep, they have the whole new paint set coming out.
What?
There's none of the old paints are staying. I think there's a new Devlin Mud though. They have a whole new, they call it the glaze section.
Like better.
So, but it might not be exactly the same as Devlin Mud. You might actually have to have a bit of skill to use it. I'm not sure. We'll be reviewing those when they come in. A lot of people are mad. I don't know why you were mad if you get an extension to your paint range. I realize that you have to start to color match to your army that you've already started to paint, but you know, they're doubling their paint range. I think that's awesome. I wish they didn't use their stupid bottles, but that's always been the way, so you can't be mad at them continuing doing the same thing they've always done. Your brush is getting kind of dirty.
I can be mad for the sake of being mad.
Yeah, a lot of people are that.
Yeah.
Most people are actually. Most people who are mad don't actually know the full story. But anyway. Oh, and also, one last thing. One of the emails I got was from somebody on our forums who's been writing a lot of short stories, and I've been really liking their writing style. What they wrote is no longer relevant because they were matching to like some older stuff that I was producing, and then I've completely changed everything on everybody. And so, luckily people aren't mad at that because I told them, I'm like, things are up in the air, nothing's confirmed yet. And so in their email, they said they'd like to actually write some stuff for us. And I've seen their stuff. See, I've had other people say that they'd like to write for me. And some of them seem to be good writers, but I've always been wary of that because, you know, the writing is really important. But this person's written a lot of short stories in the forum, and I like their style. And so I said, sure, you know what? I need the histories written. And so they're probably going to be writing the histories, at least an initial draft. We might take it and revise it after that, but they're going to help flesh that out. Because right now I just have the technological and some of the political stuff in there, but not a lot of the political stuff. So they're going to kind of fill in those blanks. I like working on the scientific stuff. The political stuff I find a little harder because as soon as I start doing that, the game all of a sudden feels unrealistic. Like, for example, how do I say that any country is going to go to war with any other country without all of a sudden stepping outside of reality? Whereas with the science, I can look at theories and what could actually happen and then kind of theorize from there. Like, for example, does the United States lose its power as one of the top economic powers? Right now, we can see that happening, that China's taking over more. So do we go with that whole China becomes a new superpower? Does North Korea launch nukes and start World War III? Does Europe sink underwater? You know, there's all these things that are potential things to happen, but as soon as you make them happen, it feels like reality has been altered because it hasn't happened yet. And we got to make sure that this political stuff happens far enough in the future that we're not proven wrong. Although I guess it's impossible if we say that North Korea starts a war in 75 years and they start one next year, then I guess we'll have been proven wrong. But we'll make it an alternate reality then. An alternate universe. That's all you have to do, right? That's always the danger of writing this kind of stuff. Most science fiction games that I've seen will kind of be vague about the near future, like very vague, and they'll kind of jump ahead 1,000 years or something, and then they'll just use names of countries that don't even exist. And they all seem to do the same thing. They all seem to conglomerate all the countries into one or two. And for the most part, humanity has come together in this one Terran Dominion or something. Like StarCraft is Terran Dominion, 40K, they're all under the Empire. That's not realistic. In our thousands of years of history, when have we ever come anywhere near a single country? And even with all the globalization that's happening now, we're probably further from that than we ever have been. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. So I want to keep that flavor, that there's never going to be like one planet that's colonized is Russian. Like the planets, when they get colonized, there's going to be fights over the territory, because who on Earth can claim it as theirs? So anyway, so we're going to try to keep the historical stuff realistic, but at the same time, it's going to be the future. So things are going to happen that won't happen. I got to make it up, right? So at least I hope it won't happen. You know, an alien race invading and killing everybody and launching a virus that knocks out most of humanity. Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
I won't be here.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But my kids will be. Kids will be. Somewhere along those lines.
Who am I kidding? I'm dying alone. Not really. I hope not.
You know, I once heard somebody say, maybe I won't say this. No, I'll say it. That, you know, I believe in making the world a better place for our kids, but I don't believe in making it a better place for our kids' kids. Because I don't think that kids should be having sex. That was probably like the worst thing that I've ever said.
It's true.
Oh, that's bad. If you made it this far, please forgive me. Maybe I'll edit that
It's
out.
really not that terrible.
I know, but for me it is. I'm like, don't swear on my website, and then I say something like that.
There was no cursing involved.
I know. It's anyway.
Okay.
It's still
We
fun.
love him.
Anyway, okay. So I think that's it. I've talked about enough. We'll go over the history some other time. If you've been following everything, you probably know the basic idea behind it, anyways. Oh, all this noise all of a sudden. Printer printing, phone ringing, chips crunching. Oh, you're a pig. It's for me? Is it my wife? Okay. Tell her to wait 1 minute.
They were so delicious.
Yeah. Anyways, my wife's calling. I
Miss
better go.
Vicky's.
This has been brought to you by Miss Vicky's. And my wife is calling, so I better get going. This is Matthew and Dan from Mini Wargaming. Happy wargaming.